Hello and welcome to this video presentation. My name is Paul Brett. I'm a Senior Software Support Analyst supporting the Transformation Extender product from IBM. The topic for today's video is using the PROCMON tool with ITX. Feel free to reach out to me on popular social media channels at Paul Brett Tech. In this practical demonstration, I show how to use the process monitor tool PROCMON.EXE from SysInternals to diagnose a file not found error. I will show you the download location, the execution, how to set the filter appropriately, and how to understand the output. Process Monitor can be downloaded from the address shown on screen. When you go to that page, it mentions Process Monitor and the version number. It is an official Microsoft page, subsection of Microsoft called SysInternals, and the download link is here. Download Process Monitor 2.9 megabytes. It is not recommended to download this tool from any other site other than Microsoft.com using the link in the previous slide. We'll start this demonstration in the ITX Design Studio. This is version 10.1.2.1, and as you can see in the Extender Navigator pane I have one project, OLEDB. Within that project I have one map source file, and if we open that we can see that it is a database based map. Input card 1 is going to be reading a file called new.mdq and retrieving data from a database. Output card 1 is writing to a file output.txt. If we look in the file area where this project is held, you will note that I have the MDQ file and no output.txt is currently shown. If I build and run this map, I get a source not available error. If we go into the audit log, you can see again source not available and no error text found for card 1, the database based card. If we look at the DBL file, you get an error here that shows the file could not be found, but it doesn't tell you which file. Let's drop to a command prompt. We will set the path appropriately to pick up the command server, and then we will run the command server. We're running the same map and we should see the same error. However, you will note that the map completes successfully and the output.txt file has been created. Here's the data from the database. So how come the command server can happily run the map and yet the Design Studio cannot? Let's use our PROCMON tool to look at the two different processes and see which files they are or are not loading. Now we're going to run the Process Monitor tool. I fire it up. It insists on running with admin privileges. And the first thing you want to do is turn off capture events and from the edit menu clear the display. We're going to set our filter next, and we're going to filter the process name javaw.exe, and it needs to be include. I click add. We're also going to grab another process. Process name is dtxcmdsv64.exe. This is the command server tool. Again, I've changed it to include, and I click add. This process name one we don't need. I'm going to edit this operation. So operation is, and from the drop down list we're going to choose create file and again include. All other filters we're going to remove. We're going to click apply and OK. From the file menu we're going to turn back on capture events, and from our Design Studio we're going to attempt to run the map one more time. Source not available, and minimize. Let's turn off capture for a moment and have a quick look at the output here. Most of these results are successes and we can ignore them. The first issue comes with a file called config-vars.mcv. Now this is about resource registry configuration variables and associated files, and this one can safely be ignored. Here we have a name not found as it attempts to open a file which is a log temp file, but immediately afterwards it is able to successfully open it. So we can ignore that one. Here comes the real meat of the problem. The next file it tries to open is new.udl. Now new.udl is one of the files that we use to get to our database. Our map refers to our MDQ, our MDQ refers to our UDL file. But if you have a look at the path that it's trying to read, you can see that it is the root directory of the transformation extender installation, and it is not correct. Let's see what happens when we clear the display and try the command server. I'm going to start capturing events again and fire up the command server. Move that out of the way and stop capturing. If we search on the string UDL, we come across an entry where the new.udl file is loaded, and as you can see it's a success, and the reason is that it is using the correct path and finding the file. So this has given us a clue as to what the file not found is. Next thing to do is determine why it can't find it. If we open the MDQ file in a text editor, you will note that the MDQ file has a relative reference to the UDL. Unfortunately, this is not good enough, as the current process directory when using the Design Studio is going to be the root installation directory of ITX, and it does not change to the map directory, and this is why the error occurs. If this MDQ was to have a fixed path to the file, then the map would perfectly well run in Design Studio, and I'm going to prove this now. I'm going to change the dot in the execution source to the full path. I'm going to save that file, and I'm going to build and run my map again, and now we get a map completed successfully. This is how we use the Process Monitor tool to track down file not found errors. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video presentation today. If you found the content interesting and informative, hit that like button. Perhaps leave a comment. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, as I release content such as this on a regular basis. Feel free to reach out to me on popular social media channels at Paul Brett Tech. Thank you.